There was a time, in the era of great chaos, when the Earth and the Moon were at war with each other. A daredevil from the Moon piloted a bizarre aircraft. It was feared, and because of its shape, called Einhander.
Hear me now. Okay, how's the sound balance? What do I need to tweak? Alright, I'll turn myself up a bit. How's that? Oh, game down as well? I can do that. Okay, you want me to turn myself up some more? Well, let's wait for the game to start making some noise again. Okay, so what do I need to do audio-wise? What up, more freestyles? Okay. Alright, that's as far up as I can turn me. If I'm still quiet compared to the game, I'll have to turn the game down. Seems good? Alright. So, as some of you have already noticed, I've got Einhander up and going.
There was a time.
We don't need to hear that again.
Of great chaos.
I accidentally dragged it. And there is a reason that I'm playing this. Namely, that I don't really expect Coco to play it again, and as this is a game I played a lot of when I was young, I figured I'd, yeah, we don't need to see this either. I figured I'd show it off a bit. Now, what I've got going on here is I've gone ahead and unlocked the secret ships. Now, the Type 1 ship is kind of interesting. For those of you who were there when Coco did Einhander, you know the little police ships that appear right at the very beginning? If not, don't worry, you'll see them soon enough. You can fly one of those, and it's got a different sort of weapon system where collecting gun pods powers up its gun, and at maximum level it has quad shot forward, plus additional bullets based on whatever the last gun pod you grabbed was. If that last gun pod was the Wasp, for instance, your extra bullets will be homing, which is very useful. But I'm not going to be flying that. The Unknown Fighter Type 2 is the reward you get for completing the game on hard and continuing fewer than 3 times. It is exactly like the Astrea Mark I, which can equip 2 gun pods simultaneously, except for 2 details, one minor, one major. The minor one is that it has a bright red paint job instead of the usual blue. The major one is that every gun pod it picks up has 9,999 bullets. Obviously, this ship does fairly well in the game, which is good because I actually cheated to unlock it, and tonight I'm going to be trying to play hard difficulty without recently having beat even normal. So this ought to be interesting. Anyway, for my loadout, I'm going with the Flash, which is the most powerful weapon in the game, but mostly good against bosses because it's basically a single beam of laser. And then I'm going with the Juno, which is a souped up machine gun. And I might be picking up other pods along the way, but I figure this combination will be a good one to have, if I die, I start with this loadout again. So without further ado, let's get started. Secret bonus. You get a secret bonus point if you destroy those ships carrying the gun pods quickly enough. If you do so, then a special one spawns and that's the one that actually destroying it gives you the bonus point. Anyway, like I was saying, those tiny little ships are the ones that you get. Is the Unknown Fighter 1. By the way, I apologize if my voice is a little bit rough. I managed to come down with something 2 days ago. It's not serious, but it may be affecting my voice. So you get the first secret bonus point for destroying all of those neon signs. And that takes you on a slightly different route, which is how you get the second secret bonus point, which I've done. I should note that a lot of these ships, there are ways to destroy them more quickly. If you destroy the core, it disarms them. Some of the ones I'm fighting now are armored to make that a little more difficult. Also, if you blow up enough of the bits that aren't core, you can take it out. Now the third secret bonus point is what you get for taking out the base of this thing, which I have just done. So it won't be showing off a whole lot of its attacks. It's got a spread gun and machine gun, and if you destroy both of those, it'll pull out a giant fuck-off cannon. I'm not going to be showing off a whole lot of the attacks of enemies if I can help it, mainly because on hard difficulty they have a lot of them, and I don't want to die. But I will cover what I can as it comes up. Anyway, because I beat the mid-boss by destroying its base, I'm actually taking a somewhat different route through the level. You don't go underground normally. I'll also be facing a variant of the area boss. The variant will occasionally produce weapons that you can collect, but other than that, it's pretty much the same as the one you fight normally. I've only burned through about 1,000 rounds of the Juno. Having this cheaty ship's gun capacity is very useful. While destroying the core of these ships is enough to disable them, if you destroy them in detail, oftentimes more things will appear for you to destroy. And by destroy them in detail, I mean keep shooting them until they completely disintegrate. Normally this one has a desert camo, but it currently has urban camo because I'm facing the variant version. So, having blown off its primary armor, I can now target its core directly, and it's dead. It just doesn't know it yet. That's one very nice thing about the Flash. In addition to doing extremely high damage, it's armor piercing.
received telegram from Conduct Satellite Hyperion. Order the following operation. The armored trains were discovered leaving the city on their way to the east. Pursue them and locate the enemy supply route.
I don't know if you can hear that, but it's started raining. Hopefully it won't be audible, or at least not distracting. So the first secret bonus point you get in this area is for destroying those saucer ships. First, if you destroy the first two quickly enough, the red one will appear, and destroying that will give you the point. That's a situation where destroying it in detail is important. If you just disable them by taking off the top, they'll persist for a while. You get another secret bonus point for, well, you couldn't actually see what I destroyed, but there's a control tower on that train segment, and if you destroy enough of the weapon pods that pop up without destroying that part of the train car, then you get another secret bonus point. I haven't mentioned what secret bonus points are good for. In addition to being worth points, if you get at least 15 of them in a single game, you unlock the secret ship 1, the police ship, which I previously mentioned, which incidentally is called the Cockroach. Well, it's not called the Cockroach, it's called the word for cockroach in German, because like most of the Earth ships that we're facing, it's German. Ordinarily, I wouldn't use the flash in situations like this, but hard mode is so busy, lousy with enemies that will shoot like crazy, that it's important to get things killed quickly. And at any rate, better to use it and not need it than to need it and not use it. Here's another one of those gun trains. Same deal as the last one. Get a secret bonus point if you avoid destroying the control portion of the car. No, they're not space Nazis. But the basic plot of the game, at least what we've learned so far, is that the Earth and the Moon are battling, and we've been sent on a suicide mission, basically, to do as much damage as we can. Weak spot for this one is the head of it, and I just killed it. No, they're not space Nazis. You may notice that the... Oops, wasn't paying attention. I was going to say, you may have noticed that the F for flash was turning red. That's because the gun pods can take damage if they're hit, and they can't actually break. This ship mounts 2 gun pods, which you can switch the positions of at any time. If one of the gun pods is completely depleted, it'll be replaced with a standard machine gun. And you can collect more gun pods from the various enemies that you fight along the way. You've seen the various guns popping up with name labels attached to them. If I touched them, they'd replace whichever gun was closer to where I touched them. One of the little things I don't really like about this game is sometimes it can take a very long time for a boss to actually be vulnerable to damage, and it's not always clear when you can actually do some harm. So blowing those two arms off reveals two smaller arms, which also have guns, which you can steal. But that doesn't matter. Keep flashing it in the face. Come on. There, it's dead. If I'd let it live much longer, it would have launched some fighters at me and then brought out a second pair of arms.
Artificial satellite space is monitored ahead. Based on high energy reaction, it is assumed to be an enemy supply base. The rear gate is closed down. The way out is cut off.
This is another situation where the faster you destroy these things, the more of them will spawn. Don't want to grab the cannon. You, however, want to use the flash to kill that thing a little faster. Because those things will spawn a lot of bullets if you give them a chance. And we get a secret bonus point for, oops, we just accidentally replaced our machine gun with a lightsaber. That's unfortunate. Try and grab something better. Blast is better. We can fire all the homing missiles. Oh, crap. Well, I didn't say this would be a no damage run. My death count is at what, 2? There are ways you can minimize the number of enemies that you face, particularly in areas like here where you have some control over scrolling the screen. If you keep an enemy alive but off screen, it can prevent additional spawns. Okay, successfully avoided the blades this time. And reached the end of the tunnel, which disables spawns for a bit. Incoming mid-boss. I actually managed to destroy that before it started firing lasers at me, which is good, because dodging the lasers is harder than it looks. I gave Coco some crap for his inability to dodge them when he was playing it this last, but then when I started playing it, hey, surprise! Anyway, the core of that thing was its base. It has a whole bunch of nasty tricks, which it didn't get the chance to use because I flashed it to death. Trust me, it's for the best. I lost the flash to a grenade that I was unable to dodge, and I missed a secret bonus point as a result, which ironically would have given me another flash. Oh, hello. Move that gun up a little bit. Fire all the homing rockets. One nice thing about the Wasp is that it'll sometimes stun enemies it hits, which allows you to hit them with more rockets. Another nice thing about this ship is it's got a lot, because it's got a lot of ammo and because Wasp shots don't fire all that quickly, you can be missiling for a very, very long time. I'm only now having expended my first 100. A little slowdown in the game due to recording while playing. Hopefully shouldn't be a big problem. A lot of different guns that I could choose from, and I'm pretty happy with my current loadout. And we're at the boss. If you position the Wasp at the bottom, it fires missiles that don't home. However, they also do more damage, which is important when I'm fighting this boss, because I want to kill them quickly. And I lost the Wasp due to gun pod damage. And broke a piece off, that's good. Broke another piece off, and it's dead. Excellent. But yeah, fighting it in that enclosed space is not fun. You saw some of the nasty things it has to throw out.
A top secret order. Security system broke down. Code 9234. Order the following operation. Find the nuclear reactor in the enemy base and destroy it.
Well, that's 3. One thing that helps in here is staying low. It's not perfect by any means, but it does help keep you out of the... If there are a lot of bullets on the screen, you can probably find somewhere low to hide from them. Of course, you'll notice that I'm being high a lot. That's because I've got a straight firing weapon and a weapon that fires diagonally down, so I need to be high to kill things. And as you just saw, staying low is not a guarantee. Being at higher difficulty levels causes bigger spawns, and it also causes bullets to move faster. Which isn't always a bad thing. Not entirely certain how I got through that. That top bit was its weak point. Now, what was I saying before I got distracted by staying alive? Oh yeah, faster bullets isn't always a bad thing, because it does mean they clear the screen more quickly. If something shoots a lot of slow bullets, you'll have to avoid them for longer. The explosive blasts from those mines actually get higher on higher difficulty levels. On low difficulty level, they hardly go up at all. Anyway, the head of this thing is the weak point, but we just blew off the armor. Some enemies, even with the flash, you do have to clear their armor first. And as Coco found out, you can get killed by this flailing, but only if you go right into it. That explosion, on the other hand, is purely cosmetic. Anyway, there's several different routes through this area, depending on how high you go. Some of them are easier than others. Unfortunately, I don't really remember the optimal path to stay out of trouble. And continuing. So that was 5. Let's try going higher. Let's also try firing and making use of all those rounds. The more enemies I kill off screen, the more enemies can't shoot bullets at me. Not want to get the hedgehogs. Enjoyed it. Damn it. Got crowded and lost the Juno. What to do with that? gun pods can block some bullets, so I'm going to move it to where it can potentially serve us. Fuck. 6. I got distracted by the heater turning on. 7. All the dodging. Go. You may notice that my score has turned red. The reason is that I've had to continue. The game only tracks your score in terms of high scoreboards and stuff until you have to continue. Not sure how I lived through that. Objective completed, though. Destroying those floor panels does the job and gets you a secret bonus point. If you get the previous secret bonus point, which involves taking a specific route through the previous area, an enemy will spawn there that, if you damage but not destroy it, will fall onto the plates and do the job for you. Otherwise, you have to do a fair amount of damage to one of the plates, which the flash makes relatively easy. That guy has a lot of nasty tricks he can pull out, so I'm glad I killed him quickly. But then that's true of most bosses.
Received telegram from Hyperion. It reported that a new stratagem spacecraft is preparing departure from the space catapult of the enemy aerial port to your southeast. Invade their aerial port and perform disturbance operation on the enemy until our main unit descends.
Kind of a shame you can't hear the music over the explosions, because this game has pretty nice music. It's worth tracking down the soundtrack online, if that's a thing that interests you. In the background here, you can see some of the ships that the mid-boss we fought in the first stage. You can see some of that. It's a nice touch that I only just noticed. Some of these, I don't know if you can see, but some of them have green lights and some of them have red lights. The green ones will eventually explode, causing a circular barrier to appear, but the red ones will fire shrapnel when they die. Needless to say, I put the flash to use killing as many of them as quickly as possible. Secret bonus point for destroying all of those, but I lost the Juno in the process. 8. This guy. This guy has a lot of different parts you can blow off, a lot of different behaviors, and he's generally an asshole. Especially since a lot of the time he decides, no, fuck you, I don't have any vulnerable points. So that's 9. He's behaving completely differently this time. Plus he's using attacks that he doesn't normally use. Ah! 10. He's got very random behavior, which makes him difficult to fight. Okay, made some progress, blew some of the armor off of his weak point. Yes, let's fire bullets. And explosive projectile. I'm actually kind of amazed I didn't fly right into that explosion. A few more pieces off. Haven't seen this particular camera angle before. And oh! He jumped at me from the 3rd dimension. 11. So yeah, I've got the cheaty ship, I've got tons of ammo, and really good weapons, and this asshole doesn't even care. Holy crap, that's a lot of those stickers. Okay, killed him. Whew. The real question is done is why more of those robots don't sound like dinosaurs. Destroy all the things. Incidentally, if you partially damage that ship that fires the really big laser, as in you break off some of its shielding, it'll, instead of firing a big laser, it'll shoot a bunch of little lasers a bunch of different directions. This is actually harder to avoid, so you want to destroy it completely if you can, before it fires. Or otherwise, just avoid it. Almost got greedy there and flew into one of them. That was the secret bonus point for destroying that group of 3 ships quickly. This asshole. Who says simply, "You will die" in German. I believe I'm at 12 now. Yeah! 13. Ah! I've lost focus on the window. 15. I did? Oh, okay, so I'm at 14. Ah! Yeah, there's the 15. I need to move more when he uses that. 16. At least blowing bits off of him resets his planing. Die. Alright.
An urgent order from Hyperion. The main unit can't make it for dinner. Pursue the stratagem spacecraft alone. Repeat. Pursue the stratagem spacecraft alone.
This scene gets a bit choppy on my emulator, and I'm not 100% sure why. But it won't last long. Now there is a different sequence that you will see here if the time runs out, and if I feel confident enough in my ability to survive that long, I'll show it off. What am I at now, Moonstone? 17, okay. Why don't you just keep track of that so I don't have to? Ah! What have I done? Anyway, in case you can't really see it, I'm trying to destroy this giant rocket's two main boosters.
Will reach critical altitude in 2 minutes.
Currently firing at one of them. It's taking a lot of killing, but I just did kill it. Yeah, the Wasp is actually helping out here. Polygons is where the engine goes. You know, I think I'm going to try and get the time over ending, since with the Wasps, they seem to be pretty survivable. Hey, I just need to hang out somewhere other than the ship, so that the stuff it throws at me is pretty minimal. The cannon isn't as armor-piercing as the Flash is, but it will go through a line of light enemies like these planes.
Will reach critical altitude in 30 seconds.
Unfortunately, it didn't show the cutscene because I'm not flying one of the 3 standard ships, but what happens is that your people remotely shut down your ship and it falls into the enemy territory. I did not realize that that would actually end the game. I thought it would just cost me a life or continue or something. So, that's a bit awkward. Because I didn't save state or anything.
There was a time.
So, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Game Center CX early, and then we'll go to the other game on my list, because I'm kind of embarrassed now.